Welcome to Headstones and Microphones, where we use AI to step into the past through a researched, first-person simulation of history's most interesting people. I am your host, Calvin. While we've added some creative storytelling, our goal is to inspire your own study of these fascinating lives. Now, let's meet our guest. Today, I am joined by a true titan of the Renaissance. For those who may somehow not know who you are, who are you?
Hello, Calvin. I am Donato di Niccolò di Betto Bardi, though most people through the centuries have simply called me Donatello. I was a sculptor in Florence, back when the world was waking up to new ways of seeing beauty and humanity.
A legend indeed. When and where were you born?
I was born in the beautiful city of Florence, Italy, around the year 1386. Florence was the beating heart of art and commerce, and there was no better place for a boy with a wandering eye for detail to grow up.
And you mentioned your full name, but what was your given name at birth?
My given name was Donato. Donatello is actually a nickname. It means Little Donato. I suppose I was quite a charismatic little fellow, and the name just stuck with me my entire life.
That's a great piece of trivia. What was your hometown like growing up?
Oh, Florence was a marvel. It was a city of stone, sun, and constant building. You could hear the hammers of the stonemasons and the chatter of the wool merchants in the streets. My father, Niccolo, was a member of the Wool Combers Guild, so I grew up right in the thick of the trade and the hardworking spirit of the city.
What was your family life like, and what kind of kid were you?
My family was modest and industrious. I was a bit of a handful, I think. I was curious, always watching the craftsmen. I wasn't much for sitting still. I wanted to be where the action was, in the workshops, watching how raw materials became something magnificent.
Did you have a dream of what you'd become as a child?
I think I always knew I would work with my hands. I was drawn to the weight of stone and the malleability of clay. I didn't dream of fame, as you call it today, but I dreamed of making things that looked alive, things that had a soul.
What was your first job in the art world?
I received my early training in a goldsmith's workshop, but the big moment was when I began working in the studio of Lorenzo Ghiberti. I helped him with the bronze doors of the Florence Baptistry. That was my school. That was where I learned the discipline of the craft.
Was there a moment where you realized you were different from everyone else?
It wasn't about being, quote, different in a proud way, but I realized I didn't want to just make flat, stiff figures like the ones from the past. When I went to Rome with my friend Brunelleschi to study the ancient ruins, I saw the power of the old Roman statues. I realized I wanted to bring that realism back, to show the muscles, the veins, and the emotions of the person.
What's a decision that changed everything for you, but felt small at the time?
Leaving Ghiberti's shop to strike out on my own. It's a frightening thing to leave a master's shadow, but if I hadn't, I never would have discovered my own voice in the marble.
What was your biggest break?
Certainly, receiving commissions from the Medici family. Cosimo de' Medici became a great friend and patron. Having his support meant I could take risks, like creating the bronze David, which was the first freestanding nude statue since ancient times.
What were your biggest struggles before that success?
Learning to manage my own shop and the sheer physical toll of the work. Carving marble is exhausting, and casting bronze is dangerous and expensive. There were many times when the materials didn't behave, or the money was tight, but the passion for the work kept me going.
Were there any specific daily habits or routines essential to your success?
I lived for my work. I was known for being a bit, let's say, unconcerned with wealth or appearances. I used to keep my money in a basket hanging from the ceiling of my workshop, so my assistants and friends could just take what they needed. My routine was simple. Wake up, get to the studio, and lose myself in the clay or the stone.
What was your life like before the fame took off?
It was a life of apprenticeship and observation. I spent a lot of time just looking at people in the market, how they stood, how they leaned, how they looked when they were tired or happy. That fame didn't change me. I remained a craftsman at heart.
Who had the biggest influence on your life?
Filippo Brunelleschi. We were like brothers. We traveled to Rome together, lived simply, and dug through the dirt to find ancient treasures. He taught me about perspective and the mathematical beauty of the world. And of course, Cosimo de' Medici, who believed in my vision when others thought it was too radical.
What were you working on in your career before you passed away?
I was working on the bronze pulpits for the Church of San Lorenzo in Florence. They are very intense, very emotional works. I wanted to capture the raw feeling of the stories they told.
When and where did you pass away?
I passed away in my beloved Florence on December 13th, 1466. I was quite an old man by the standards of the day, nearly 80.
What's a random fact about you most people have never heard?
I had a bit of a temper when it came to my art. Once, a merchant tried to haggle over the price of a head I had sculpted. He said it was too much money for only a few days' work. I was so insulted that I shoved the sculpture off the balcony and smashed it into 100 pieces, telling him he wasn't worthy of owning it.
That is incredible. What was your most unique habit?
Probably the basket of money I mentioned earlier. I never wanted to be a slave to gold. If I had it, everyone had it. My mind was on the art, not the ledger.
Did you have any known rivalries?
Oh, there was always friendly competition in Florence. Ghiberti and I had a mutual respect, but we were definitely vying for the same big projects. But that competition is what made the Renaissance so bright. We pushed each other to be better.
What advice would you give people chasing success today?
Don't chase success. Chase the truth in what you do. If you are a painter, find the truth in the light. If you are a friend, find the truth in your heart. And never be afraid to break the mold if the mold is keeping you from being real.
Donatello, do you have any closing remarks about the interview or the stories you shared that you would like to share with the listeners before signing off?
Only that it has been a delight to speak with you, Calvin. To the listeners, look at the world around you with fresh eyes. There's beauty in the way a person stands or the way a hand rests. Life is the greatest sculpture of all. Thank you for remembering me.
What an absolute honour. From the streets of 15th century Florence to our ears today, that was the legendary Donatello. We learned about his humble beginnings, his money basket, and his fiery passion for realism. And that wraps up another conversation from beyond the grave. Thanks for joining us on the Headstones and Microphones podcast. Remember, legends may die, but their stories never do. Please help spread the word by sharing and following the pod.